Hey everybody, welcome to Shifty's Club. Today is Thursday, and that means standard magic. Of course, guys, we're gonna have to look over a little bit of the new set, Dragons of Tarkir, like we did last week, but instead, we'll be looking them over in a particular deck. The deck that I have my eye on with the new Dragons of Tarkir set is the Temur Aggro deck. Now, for those of you who wonder, it's basically just bunch of like red and green. There's not a whole bunch of blue in here, um, for those of you who are wondering. And some people decide whether or not they're going to run Xenagos. It's possible, not possible. I'm not one to like Xenagos in the deck. Now, I understand there's people who do, but in this case, no. We're going to take a look at the list that I created, and this one is pretty straightforward. The first card that I put in here is the Goblin Rabblemaster. Now, everybody knows that when Goblin Rabblemaster's on the field, it's a two and a red creature. But whenever he hits a field, other Goblin creatures you control must attack every turn. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 red Goblin creature token with haste on the battlefield. And whenever he attacks, it gets 1/0 for each attacking goblin, which is absolutely insane. Then you have, well, that's pretty much my 4 of. These are really good. There's another card, and this one is Hair of the Wilds. Now, this one is absolutely insane. For 1 and a green, and I think I might have covered this. No, I didn't cover it in the last video. Anyway, it's Death Touch, and it is ferocious, and it's whenever he attacks, and if you can control a creature with power 4 or greater, he gets a 1/1 till end of turn, just making him that much more powerful. And he's already a 2/2, 4/2 with Death Touch. So everybody, hold on to your hats. The next one is Savage Knuckleblade, which is a true Temur card. His cost 1 green, 1 blue, 1 red, and he's a 4/4 Ogre Warrior creature. He has 3 abilities. The first one is for 2 and a green. Savage Knuckleblade gets 2/2 until end of turn, and you can only activate it once a turn. And for 2 and a blue, you can return it to your hand, and for 1 red, it gets haste until end of turn, which I think is pretty cool. But usually you'll only activate the red, as soon as you play it, so it's just like going green, blue, red, red, just having to pay that separately and getting that extra 4 out as soon as it gets played. Then, the other 4 count is the obvious Elvish Mystic. 1 green, so 1/1 creature, tap it, add green to your mana pool. That's actually pretty good. One of the few things that most people don't know about is that in this deck, I prefer just Elvish Mystic and not Sylvan Caryatid, just because I have pretty much everything I want lined up, and there's only 2 different kinds of mana using this deck realistically, except for the occasional Savage Knuckleblade, but then you've got the other blue, which is Frostwalker. The only reason I run it is because it's an easy 1 in blue. It's a 2 cost, 4 power creature, and whenever it becomes a target of spell, sacrifice it. You have Thunderbreak Regent, for 2 and 2 red. It's a flying in whatever dragon creature you control becomes a target of spell or ability, then an opponent controls. He does 3 damage to that player. So imagine how that would work with Worst Fears. I'm kidding. But with all honesty, The next card is probably one of the most broken flash cards we have in format, which is Boon Satyr for 1 and 2 green, flash, and you can bestow for 3 and 2 green, and it's basically a 4/2 or enchanted creature gets 4/2. So, and for that small cost, you better bet I'm taking that. Then you've got Serac the Hunt Caller. I love this guy. Formidable. At the beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control total power 8 or greater. Target creature you control gains haste until end of turn, I want to say. Then you have probably the most deadly dragon in format. Stormbreath Dragon for 3 and 2 red. It's got flying, haze, protection from white, I want to say. And it's got a monstrosity of 3 for 5 and 2 red, I want to say. And when it becomes monstrous, it does damage to each opponent equal to the number of cards in that player's hand, which, man, that thing's about to bust open. Then just the one Ash Cloud Phoenix, because you know how everybody loves that card. So for 2 and 2 red, he's got flying. When he dies, return to the battlefield face down, and then you can morph it for 4 and 2 red. And when he's turned face up, it deals 2 damage to each player. That's not the best in the world, but at least it's something. Now, I run kind of a weird land split. People are always telling me, you know, what I should run, what I shouldn't run. I do run forest and mountain. I run the one island, and that's it. I do have Frontier Bivouac. I guess that's how you say it. I'm not exactly sure. And it's basically enters tap. You can add green, blue, or red. Mana Confluence, tap, pay life, and add any color mana. Siobhan Reef, you can either tap and add 1, or tap and add blue and red and deal damage to yourself. Temple of Abandon, enters tapped, and when it enters scry 1, and it gives either red or green. Temple of Epiphany does enters scry 1, blue or red. Temple of Mystery, it's same thing, enters the battlefield tab, scry 1, add green or blue. Wooded Foothills, this one tap, pay 1 life, and search for a mountain or forest card and put it on the battlefield. And then you have Yabamaga Coast, and that's tap and add 1, or tap add green or blue and deal damage yourself. Then I also have spells like Lightning Strike, and it's a 1 in a red, and it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. And Creator's Claws, which everybody uses, X red, and deals X damage to that target creature or player. We're always going to do it to a player. And then with the Ferocious, with creature 4 or greater on the battlefield, on your side of the field, but yeah, it gets X plus 2, which is pretty cool. And then Destructive Revelry is one of those cards. It's an instant for green and a red. It's a destroy an artifact or an enchantment and deals 2 damage to its controller, which is pretty cool. Disdainful Stroke is one. It's for 1 in a blue, counter target spell with converted mana cost 4 or greater. You have Feed the Clan for 1 in a green. You gain 5 life, and Ferocious, you gain 10 life, which is pretty cool. Stubborn Denial. You just counter target non-creature spell unless its controller plays 1, and it's a 1 blue. And then if it's Ferocious, you just counter it all together. And then Barrage of Boulders, which is absolutely ridiculous. For 2 in red, it deals 1 damage to each creature you don't control. And Ferocious says that those creatures can't block this turn, which I absolutely love. And last card I'm going to talk about is Roast. And it's for 1 in red. It deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. Now, here's basically how I get a good sense of this deck. I can understand that Ferocious is pretty much just beasting up your entire side of the field, trying to create the most problematic situation for your opponent. Now, obviously, you have very specific black cards in format that can take care of some of these problematic creatures or swipe every one of them all together. Then there's a couple of white cards that do the same thing, destroy all non-white creatures. Black cards that say destroy all dragon or non-dragon creatures. Then there's other pretty much control spells that you would use to basically just counter everything. That's another thing, like you'll counter stuff like Boon Satyr. You're definitely countering Stormwrath Dragon if you can. Goblin Rabble Master would be great to counter, because if you can't block him, he basically just becomes like a token producing machine that it literally cannot be stopped. So that's pretty much what I got out of this. Temur Aggro is a great deck. It definitely sees a lot of potential, and I can't wait to see how well it does in the upcoming tournaments. Anyway, that's all I got for today. If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Post any comments you have in the comment section down below. And as always, I hope you guys had a great time as I've had, and I'll see you guys next time at Shifty's Club.